end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson on first down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Now a give, right side. Hodges got some room at the 30 and all the way up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Jackson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They'll drop to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
You got to get moving, man. Man, moving. You got to get that. 57. Mike, 57. 56. Pull it. High. 3. 2 6. Deep. Go. Defense. Wide. Get wide. 57's Mike. Mike, put up.
Jackson will throw again. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. So into Pats territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Rashard Robinson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hodges. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Set, ready. 60 outlaw. Rip right, rip right. Hayward. 97's the mic.
Jackson looking to throw on third. He sets to fire deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And an alley to run. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Check three.
2nd and 13. Steps away to his left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Switch. Recon, 132 fighting.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Next to score, Jaguars 14, Patriots 0.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught. It's Malone. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. 61. Matchbox. Line. And go.
Back to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. They'll get 34 yards there.
I'm not sure this is how they had it drawn out on paper, but this is going to work out for them and then some, right? They've got a big chunk they've got to pick up. They decide to check it down, and he just turns into a pure athlete and makes a huge play for them.
Let's go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Patriots take over. Let's go. At their own 25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
An update from Buffalo, and the Titans dominant. They have added to their totals in that one. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
And
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On the ready.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On second down, it's Hodges, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination.
Mike.
They're going to look to throw. Buying time to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get him with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Come on. Slick on.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is now 24. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often...
And nothing but daylight ahead. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Marquise Goodwin, 81 yards. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Extra point up and through. And that'll make it 24-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Come on.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Watch tight end. 4 down, 4 down.
On first down, Dobbins, he'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Mike, check.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for New England. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken around the 12. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And he will find his man on the outside. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. They'll run on first down. Dobbins. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 2. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Cannon. 7 yards there and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
On first down, Dobbins. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 37, check 37. H3, 218, chopper, chopper. 59. Mike's 59. Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
2nd and 4. That is caught at the 7. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there, with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Now the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Yannick Ngakoue in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Jackson back into his end zone. Open man is Trey Burton. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Fighting his way through contact. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll try the left side. Hodges, and he loses the football a 2nd time. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll drop the throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hodges, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Yeah, that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things will...
And he is in. Touchdown, New England. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go,
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a two-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Doing with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check 26, check 26. Check 52. Ready, go.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanchez. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Running with Howard. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
First down, Jaguars.
Push him back.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And, of course, this is a win they're going to hang their hat on. They go on the road and defeat the defending Super Bowl champs.
Partner, they came, they saw, they conquered.
They conquered.
But before all that happened with the conquering part, they believed. They thought it all week. It was evident when we talked to them before the ball game that they thought they could get this done, and they knew exactly how, had a plan, formulated it, and then executed it. That's a big-time win to take down the defending Super Bowl champs.
So for the Jags, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee